Majesty's a pretty nice girl, but she doesn't have a lot to say.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hi, my name's Phyllis.
My name's Phyllis.
Say welcome to photo class.
Never for the class.
Okay. Tell them that they're going to be working on a presentation
We're on a presentation
for Aperture.
for Aperture.
Good job.
Dad, do that one.
Yeah. Okay, now tell them that they need to figure out how Aperture and Exposure and ISO all work together to make for a well-developed photo. Okay, so this is our third installment in our presentations of the exposure triangle, and since it's the third one, we need to make sure that it's wonderful and beautiful and that you present well. And I really love my daughter. She's a sweetie.
I'm a sweetie.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a picture of that. There's a pictures of that.
And there's my dog. Okay, so now that you've been introduced to the whole family, with the Aperture presentation, I want the same thing. I want you to be able to explain the numbers. I want you to explain how to adjust it on your camera. I want you to show pictures taken at different apertures. And then here's the hard part that's going to be a little bit trickier than what we've done in the past. You need to not only show aperture, but I need you to show how ISO and shutter speed have to get adjusted in relation to that so that your picture can be exposed the same way. Okay, we had to get rid of the little girl because she was distracting. Okay, so in order to understand this and make it work right, 15, let's just use the number 15 as a magic number that represents the perfectly exposed photograph. No, this number 15 doesn't have any bearing on reality or real photo. If you go to a photo lab and say that you want your picture developed at a 15, they will look at you like you're a crazy person. Okay, so to get to the number 15, this magic number, let's say we've got a 5 that represents aperture, a 5 that represents ISO, and a 5 that represents shutter speed. And together those add up to 15, which makes for a perfectly exposed photo. If you adjust one though, like let's say if you change the aperture from 5 to 4, then you have to compensate for that somewhere. So if your aperture is now a 4, then you'd have to change either the ISO or the shutter speed to a 6. Does that make sense? So 4 plus 6, plus 5 equals 15. So 4 on a aperture plus 6 on shutter speed plus 5 on ISO equals 15. Or if you wanted to adjust the shutter speed so that it's open for a really long time, so let's say you change your shutter speed to a 10, then you'd have to adjust the other numbers. So 10 plus 3 plus 2, let's say. So shutter speed is 10, ISO is 3, and aperture is 2. So if, all those things have to add up always to the same number. Otherwise your photo, let's say if it ends up adding up to, let's see, instead of 15, adds up to 17, 18, 19, whatever, then your picture might be overexposed, then the white balance is all crazy and it's no good, and you have to yell at Walmart, and then they won't reprint your photo because you didn't give them a good photo to work with. So I want you to explain in your presentations how this all works together, the three things that make the exposure triangle. You should have some original photos that you've taken yourself. The more of these, the better, and also I want a working understanding. Okay, so on your last presentations, I saw this is an improvement. You guys are understanding more, but you still need to show in your presentations that you know exactly what you're writing or talking about. If you show pictures, make sure that the numbers that correlate with it go to that picture. So if you're saying that a picture was taken at a f8, make sure that we know which picture was taken at an f8 and how that was exposed and compensated for. Okay, That being said, I think that's all. So you guys can use the computers, you can use the cameras. Um, be respectful, and I think that's it. Have a good day, and we'll see you on Wednesday.